Today's movie is a special request from Patreon supporter David Hobson, who asked me to review, Argonauts. Okay, you know what? The real title of the movie doesn't matter. The important thing is, it's basically a Russian language version of Jason and the Argonauts, which means I get to call this episode Russian Jason and the Argonauts. Now, about time I did another one of these movies that isn't Turkish or Korean. Alright, time to do yet another foreign knockoff of a popular English language movie. Except this one's not a knockoff, since it's based on a Greek myth that's fair game for anybody to make a movie of, but hey, I'm still gonna be a dick and say that it is. Argonauts, or whatever the movie's title is in Russian, comes to us from the good old days of the Soviet Union. Info on this one's a little scarce, at least in English, but from what I could gather, it first aired on Soviet television back in 1986. Now, if you remember the video I did on the Soviet version of The Hobbit, that was also a TV movie from the 80s, and if you don't remember it, here's a clip. Well, this one ought to be fun. Okay, so the most famous version of Jason and the Argonauts would probably be the Ray Harryhausen movie from 1963, which opened with Bernard Herrmann's kick-ass musical score. So, how does this version compare?
Исполнен жизни твой сюжет. Есть музыка.
Okay, I know it was the 80s, but I'm not sure a Russian slow jam was the best choice to open with. Well, this may not have Bernard Herrmann's musical score, but at least there was enough in the budget to actually show the boat. Costuming seems a little inauthentic, though. What, do they get the camera crew to do the rowing? Hey, wait a second, just what the hell's going on here?
Взрослые запутают всегда то, что было ясно и ребенку.
I don't know who this guy is, but the way he's walking along that beach, it looks like he's about to ask me if there's days where I feel not so fresh. I also don't know why he's putting on an old man Larry Fine wig, but he better explain what the hell is going on. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, this is also a musical. Alright, I know the Russian version of The Hobbit I reviewed a while ago was also a musical, but that kinda made sense since there were songs in the actual story. This movie is less like the Harryhausen version of Jason and the Argonauts and more like that weird musical dub of Jack the Giant Killer. And before anyone asks, sure, I might do Jack the Giant Killer one of these days. Oh well, at least this version remembered to include the singing unitard mimes like the original Greek myth. A lot of movie versions don't include that. Although, I'm not sure about the musical numbers here.
Что за бред этот стон?
This is less like Jason and the Argonauts and more like the opening to some weird Soviet James Bond movie. Which, now that I say that, I kinda hope really exists. And what the hell are you doing? You're not supposed to jump off a cliff until the end of the movie. Didn't you see the Harryhausen version? And I think the subtitles in my copy of the movie might be off too.
Нет.
Okay, I don't speak Russian, but I'm pretty sure that wasn't right. Oh well, at least the song lyrics seem to be translated correctly. Okay, well, I can see that being a hit in Europe at least. Yeah, there you go, just climb over the barrels of alcohol needed to fully enjoy this movie. Alright, so at this point in the Harryhausen version, they start picking the crew for the Argo, which includes heroes like Hercules. This version, however, introduces characters like, I don't know, Russian Crocodile Dundee? Okay, seriously, is that actually who this is supposed to be? I think they're doing the that's not a knife, this is a knife bit. You know what, I might have jumped the gun since this movie does have a version of Hercules with Russian Zangief here, which I guess would just be regular Zangief. Anyway, time to get to more musical numbers.
Я не знаю лучше вида, чем поток с горы. Хороша земля,
Oh Lord, please don't let me be misunderstood.
Okay, now they're just showing off the model ship from the Harryhausen version. Well, I guess seeing this kid hold it is the closest we'll get to the Talos sequence from that movie. I'm really starting to question this movie's accuracy. Ancient Greece didn't have banjos. Oh, but Eurodisco, that's been around forever. There hasn't been any monsters so far, but I think the budget may have been a little low for this movie.
Мать-Земля! Избавь от рифов подводных.
От трусости и предательства!
Oh, good, they're finally setting sail. Maybe this means they'll finally go on some adventures. So the first stop on their quest is, the Isle of Little Kids with Patio Furniture, I guess?
Ням-ням, ням-ням-ням-ням-ням. Ням-ням, ням-ням. Буль. Буль-буль. Буль-буль. Воды.
I don't know if the USSR needed its own version of Carrot Top, let alone two of them. Instead of giving us Ray Harryhausen's awesome stop-motion monsters, this version just has some high school pranks. Alright, you know what? I'm just gonna play a clip from the Harryhausen version to make up for this. Alright, come on, fellas. There's gotta be a part of this movie that doesn't involve musical numbers on this island somewhere. And wait a second, did they just wander into a Russian version of when dinosaurs ruled the earth?
Амик!
Shit, I think that is where they are. Oh well, maybe this means we'll get some G-rated cave titties. And this guy's don't count. Just my luck, though. Instead, all we get is more musical numbers. Ah, yes. Not since Who Framed Roger Rabbit has there been a piano duel this memorable or ridiculous. Anyway, they move on from whatever place that was, and there's something I forgot to mention earlier, namely the fact that the crew includes some good old Russian blackface. Well, at least the movie knows what the audience wants, more musical numbers and some questionable stunt work. Why do I get the feeling they really threw spears at that guy and just hoped things would work out? Okay, as far as I can tell, the crew gets captured by Amazons. Hopefully this means they'll get death by snoo-snoo. Actually, as much as I joke, I think that's what fake Helen Mirren here is gonna get from this guy. The one thing we're definitely gonna get is another musical number.
Лида, лида, птичка, рыбка, наша ссора лишь ошибка. Наши споры, все во славу новой пары.
Again, I don't speak Russian, but I'm pretty sure that wasn't right. Well, looks like fake Hercules is out of the movie, but at least we still have one eye and would probably have to tweet an apology for this role today here. Hey, wait a second, did they just land on the Isle of Turkish Star Wars? Okay, well, if Junaid Arkin came in and kicked all these guys until they exploded, I wouldn't mind. Now, this movie may not have Ray Harryhausen's stop-motion animation, but it does have this.
Таю, я предрекаю. Я предрекаю, да сбудется все.
Oh shit, I think they just landed on Bakshi Island. I'm assuming this is the part of the story where they encounter the Harpies, that is if the Harpies were played by Divine. Instead of eating a dog turd, she's just gonna eat a copy of this movie. And I may have joked about G-rated titties earlier, but we actually kinda get that here. Huh, I guess this must have aired on Russian Cinemax. Okay, so now they're on another island, I guess. I don't know, if this were an open-world video game, I'd feel like they were dicking around doing side missions instead of completing the main story. Say what you want about the 1963 movie, but at least it was smart enough to only include one song and dance sequence.
В каждой лачуге найдем и приют, и радушки. Ну дай мне побыть человеком.
Congratulations, fellas. After almost an hour, you finally found the Golden Fleece, or the polyester fleece. Whatever, good enough. However, there's still 25 minutes left, so you can't claim it just yet. I'm not really sure what's happening here, but at least this movie finally seems to have some adventuring. Not only that, but we also get a love interest for Jason, or whoever the main character of this movie's supposed to be.
Всех до сих пор отвергала Медея. Ты бы попробовал. Девушкам нравятся эти... Эти? Герои.
This movie's had lots of musical numbers so far, but how about we have a little more traditional music? Alright, take it easy there, Evgeny Van Halen. Alright, despite all the different types of music they've shown so far, I think there's still one thing this movie's missing. That's right, a good old Russian minstrel show. What the hell's going on now, a Russian hoedown? Oh, they're dancing to that famous Russian country music hit, I Mistake You Break Your Heart. Okay, you know what, we're getting close to the end of this movie, and I'm pretty sure we're not gonna get that famous skeleton battle like at the end of the Harryhausen version, so instead I'll just play the closest musical equivalent. I'm I'm just guessing at the story here, but I'm assuming this is the part where Jason tries to get with Medea, who thankfully isn't being played by Russian Tyler Perry. But he might have some competition, since I think her dad also wants to do that.
Готовься. Тебе предстоит трудное дело.
Вели. Все, что ты скажешь, исполню.
Поле бесплодное издревле завтра вспаши, а всходы взойдут. Там увидим.
Что мелочиться, Эд? Хочешь, гору столкну? Выпью. Залив.
And banger he does. First though, he's got to get baptized. Her family is Irish Catholic after all. We may not get any stop-motion monsters, but Jason does fight a bull. And given that this actor seems to be pissing off a real bull, I wouldn't mind seeing some outtakes of this sequence. Yeah, that's right, Jason. Don't wait for the wine to get made, just get hammered off the fermented grapes. Again, I joke, but I think that's actually what he's doing here. Alright, enough screwing around. Time to get the Golden Fleece and sell it on the black market, or whatever the hell you're planning on doing with it. And since there's no Hydra fight, I'm assuming he just takes it. The movie doesn't really show what he does. Jason even goes home with the girl too, which really seems to disappoint her dad. Before the movie ends, though, we get more behind-the-scenes footage, including a look at the movie's director, Steven Spielbergov. Good work, everyone. Now let's sacrifice this goat and get the blood orgy rap party started. So that's Russian Jason and the Argonauts, or Argonov Tebi, or whatever. And as weird as this is gonna sound, it was pretty much what I was expecting. The production values on this one were a little higher than the Soviet version of The Hobbit, in that it actually looked sorta like a movie and not like a school play somebody filmed. But just like that movie, don't expect to get much more than some goofy songs. If you're looking for monsters and spectacle instead of disco musical numbers, just go with the Harryhausen version. Now that I've done a couple Russian movies, I wonder if they have any superhero knockoffs. I mean, seriously, how awesome would it be if there was a Soviet version of Captain America? Well, that's all for now. Until next time.